a really small, nimble 5-axis machine that's also got automation on it. Really for hard metal machining. I mean, some of the surface finishes you can achieve with these machines because of their structure and their stability. One, you don't know what a W-axis is. Now you don't know what an inferior.
I know. I don't know why I've been even bought on this flipping show.
Hello and welcome to another live MTD podcast from a drone. We're starting off from here this afternoon. A drone in a field, would you believe? So I'm joined today by Colin Griffiths and Gio Albanese. We are actually going to be talking about Mac 2022 like we did the other day. We did a live podcast on Wednesday where we talked about what we were going to be doing on the Monday of the event. Today we're going to cover what we're going to be doing on the Tuesday and Wednesday. But why are we outside? Well, what a beautiful day. You see Gio's got his coat on. I actually feel a bit envious of you now, Gio, because it's a bit chilly, isn't it?
And it's not a farming programme today, is it?
But with you being a bit closer to the ground, I would have thought you would have been a bit warmer, possibly.
Why is that?
I don't know, just natural rises,
physics.
all that. So if you didn't know, Mac 2022 is not far away now. It's literally about 10 days, I believe. It starts a week on Monday, which is April the 4th. Runs for 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, runs for 5 days and Friday, and finishes on the 8th. Now, we will be at Mac. We do have a stand there. Our stand number is in Hall 19, stand 527. We obviously want everybody to come and visit us while we're at the event. We've got a Swarf and Chips bar, which will be open from 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll be doing live podcasts like this every day from 4 o'clock in the afternoon after our streams on stands that are happening during the day. Before we start telling you about what we're going to be doing on the Tuesday and Wednesday, I've got a couple of facts for you, actually. Now, when do you think the first Mac show was? And I can absolutely guarantee you're not going to get this correct.
Is there a prize for the winner?
No prize.
Can you not? I think we need a bit more of an introduction. He said there's a drone in the field. The only drone in this field, I'm looking at him right now. It's just there. So chop.
And there's a few lambs as well. A few sheep.
Well, I'd like to say
sheep.
we are working our audience. It's the biggest audience I've had all day today. If maybe one of our guys could do a panning shot just to showcase how many people are watching live from the field.
Probably the biggest audience ever you've had, Colin. And if you want to contribute to this podcast, like Colin obviously is, and like Gio will, do message us, and wherever you're watching this, you could be watching either on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or on the MTD CNC app.
How did you get the app, Paul?
So there is a QR code. If you go on the website, you'll be able to download it, or if you go to the App Store, you'll be able to download it too. So it's going to be a big push for us, the app. It's recently been revived and it's looking really good. And as I say, you can watch all of our video reviews, read news, and of course watch live broadcasts.
The live stream format will be on the app.
It will be on the app, absolutely, like it will be across all channels. So answer to the question.
Oh, sorry, we digest, don't we?
Yeah.
Digress. I'm thinking MTA. I'm going to go 1932.
Yeah.
Well, the MTA's been.
Oh, so not the MTA, the Mac exhibition.
The actual Mac exhibition.
Well, the MTA, Machine Tool Association, has been going for approximately 100 years. So I'd say that the Mac exhibition would be close to 100 years.
Well, we'll do some maths then. So 100 years ago, Gio, what do you reckon that is then?
I don't know, Colin.
Oh. Well, I've got 1932. You got to name a year. Name a year.
1922.
Okay, now if there was a prize, he would be closer, because it was actually 1912 was the first Mac exhibition. Which
Did you go to that one, Paul?
Happened in the Olympia Exhibition Centre in London. Now, hasn't this event grown? I mean, today...
How many exhibitors in a first Mac?
That I'm not sure of. You'd probably have to ask the MTA that.
9:30, MT, they've got two sections. NCMT are doing Akuma on the Tuesday, so looking forward to that and finding out about some great technology. Matsuura, I presume Dom will be on stand, will he? So he's going to talk. We'll go through what they're doing. Next, we have Soditex and the Sodic machines in the afternoon. And then, Gio, has it got a H in it?
It has, yes.
And what is it?
Hoffman Group.
Brilliant,
UK.
Excellent. In the afternoon. And then Wednesday morning, back to NCMT, finding out about their Machinos. And then straight over to Heimer with an H. And then what I am...
Probably with his H's or something.
No, not at all. And what you've then got is something about me, because it says on the list here, Star. Is that me or is that... Oh, Star Machine Tool.
You're not Star, Colin.
I'm here all day.
Okay, I just wanted to also say we're out in this field and we've had a technical issue on the audio. So if you have missed any of the podcast, you will be able to catch it on our YouTube channel, where you'll be able to watch it after the live broadcast.
Can I suggest someone has actually done that on purpose, just because
Maybe.
they weren't happy with the content? It's happened before to you, Paul. I know.
Now I want to start talking about the Akuma, the first stream. They've got the Genesis M560. That's a machine we're going to be reviewing, which is going to be, there's going to be two of that machine there, and one's going to have no guarding on it, and one's going to have the guarding. And I suppose the idea behind this is to be able to show what the machine looks like without any of the guarding around it, and that's always I find is so important. And I've seen it with a couple of machine tool suppliers. In fact, XYZ, when I've visited their showrooms, they do have their machines without the guarding on, because you can actually see how
I'm
big
just
the
going to stop you
castings
very
are.
quickly there, just to prove we are live. I'd like to say a big thank you to Shannon N for sharing the stream. Shannon, thank you very much. That's absolutely brilliant.
So seeing
Sorry,
the machines without the covers on is always important, and that will be might be one of the only machines at the show like that. So that's the Genos M560
another
vertical machining centre.
Another big thing is they will all be cut, or not all, but a lot of them will be cutting live, won't they?
Yes.
If I understand it.
Yeah, they will, and also their automation. Now they've got their Android and their Standroid, and also they have Armroid automation.
What's the difference?
Well, the Armroid, I've got a lot of noise going on in my ear here.
Yeah, so have we, Paul. We can hear you.
The Armroid is a system that goes into a turning centre, which takes the parts out. It basically is tending the machine continuously.
So it's a robot
very compact. It's a robot arm, goes in and out of the machine.
But it's actually in the machine, though, isn't it?
Correct. It's in the machine.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you often look at these tending solutions, they're external to the machine, but like you correctly identified, this one's in it, which means that the footprint's much smaller. Which means it's a very efficient way of machining. The actual Standroid unit is a standalone system which stands next to a machining centre, again for tending purposes, whether it be a VMC or another machine, but really showing that NCMT are looking at providing the unmanned run, which we're seeing all the time at the moment, and they're all about solutions as well. It's a word we hear a lot, but having a company that can that can basically bring an automation solution into the arena with a turnkey is important too.
If you're not automating, you're going to be left behind. So, I mean, everywhere we go now, it's all about, you've got great machine tools, whether there's sliders, fixed head, 5-axis machines, automation is key. But you guys out there watching, can you please engage with us? Ask us. I want to put Paul to the test and ask him some tricky questions.
Yes, yeah, you can always do that. Now, Gio, tell us about what you think about. You've looked at NCMT's products before, the Akumas.
I think they're a quality product, aren't they, Paul? And I think that quality is one of their biggest selling points. Longevity of the product, the robustness and rigidity, the torque and the power. It's a very world-class machine tool, but it's also backed up by expertise in Coventry and the team there. And they do, as you mentioned, and work on a lot of turnkey packages. Automation is something that they're very familiar with now that they've got their own kind of solutions, even better kind of off-the-shelf solutions, but any turnkey automated solutions they've been working on for years and
Richard
years
Turner,
and years.
good friend of yours.
Absolutely top guy,
in fact,
top
you two
engineer.
are responsible for the best blooper we've ever had on MTV.
Yeah, I can remember that one.
How long did it take to film that?
It was a while. We couldn't stop laughing. To be fair, it was a good day.
Now, also on the Akuma stand, we'll be looking at the Genesis L2000, the Genesis L3000, and the M460 5AX, and that is on the Tuesday morning
From 9:30.
from 9:30.
Okay, so that's just to clarify Akuma, because the next day is a Makino, which we'll come to later.
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to ask you then, Matsuura, what are they doing?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's always a pleasure to be working with Matsuura and looking at the technology that they offer. It's a word we keep using at the moment, technology, but that really is what Mac is about, showcasing what is new to the world of manufacturing. The successes that Matsuura have had in recent years with the MX330, the MX520, certainly with the pallet solutions on them, just mean that the unmanned running opportunities for companies that are small to medium-sized businesses, not necessarily running high volumes, but are doing lots of different parts.
Well, a great example is Apsley Engineering, because they had spindle uptime. I think it was something like 97%. They just load it up, let it run, hour over the weekend. And the only reason they had to go in for an hour over the weekend is to reload it, because it's just such a great machine.
And that's really I suppose, the ethos of their business. I mean, the one you're talking about is the MAM, and there is also a new MAM at the show. But the specific machines that I wanted to touch on that are going to be there is the new MX420. Now, if you think the MX330 and the 520...
Is that the full name?
I'm sure you're probably going to add to that. But yeah, though, if you think that the 330's done well and the 520's done well and the MAM machines have done well, this is going to be really the next big thing, I think.
What is it then?
So you're looking at a 5-axis machine with a pallet pool on it, which is slightly bigger than the 330, and it sits right in between the 520 and the 330, which means for some companies that used to look at the 520 and say it's a little bit too big, and for some that look at the 330 and think it's a little bit too small, this perfectly sits in the middle. And I'm sure it'll draw a lot of attention.
We've mentioned automation, haven't we? Just about NCMT, but Matsuura have always been involved with automation. It's always been built in. Yeah. To their machine tools, and they were always looking to achieve that unmanned running. And it's such a success story, and they just seem to be going from strength to strength.
And it won't just be that. I mean, the machine you mentioned, the MAMs, they've got a new MAM there as well, which is, I think might have 35 pallets on it. So,
do you want the full name? Because I have got.
Yeah, you absolutely.
The MAM. I don't know how Dom did this when he was doing the video, because he remembered these, and I heard it was only 73 takes, but it's the MAM 72 52V PC15.
Yeah, and it's another machine that fits perfectly in between two existing models that they've got. I mean, if their range wasn't as accomplished already as to what they have, this really just extends that.
I don't know about you. Well, I presume you must have done. There's so many Matsuura machines out there, and I think maybe it's not remiss or wrong, but people think, can I afford these machines? The price, but they're not. They're so affordable, and there's so many of them. I mean, you look after Matsuura as a client, Paul, and yet the amount of jobs we're doing for them, because we're out there all the time.
Return on investment, if you can keep the spindle running, you're gonna pay for the machines quicker. But it won't just be the Matsuura machines. They've got their Muratech machine on there. You're talking about a twin turret machines loaded by gantry systems, again, to really fits perfectly from a turning perspective to do the same as what they do with their.
Are they bringing their additive manufacturing solutions as well, Paul?
They are, yeah. So they'll have a new desktop metal printer there, and they'll also have their HP range too. So during the stream, which will start, the stream will actually start at 11, but the main tour with Dom and his colleagues will actually start at 11:30 on the Tuesday across our channels. If you are watching, tell us you're watching, and if you've got any comments about what we're actually talking about, then we'd be.
In fact, I've got a question for people out there. When was the first Mac exhibition? Just to test it out, listening.
Rewind the stream and you'll
on
find
that
it.
match show. You said at 11, so 11 to 11:30. Sort of, we're streaming the stand. If we can get customers, we'll chat to them, ask them why they're there, what they're looking at, things like that. Because Muratech is a great example. Because have LMS Precision just bought a Muratech?
They have, yeah. And there's going to be a video coming to our channel over the course of the next couple of days from the guys at LMS Precision. But yeah, that window between 11 and 11:30 is an opportunity for engineers. If you're going to be on the Matsuura stand, come at 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning, get yourself on camera, get yourself on MTD CNC, publicise your company and what you like about Matsuura. And maybe
Can I just say, I didn't plan it, but some of my groupies are just about to arrive. I'm over them to just prove we are live.
Oh, gosh.
Some of the girls are arriving right now. I am underwhelmed.
Well, while they turn up, what's happening after Matsuura?
I'm too busy concentrating on the groupies, to be honest. No, it is after Matsuura. It is Soditech, so the Sodic machines. So you're talking EDM and milling, and also
you've got die sinking. You've got precision wire EDM, hole drilling EDM, high speed milling.
Yeah, I was thinking
injection molding.
Hold on a minute.
Additive manufacturing. Which one's yours, Colin?
Well, to be honest,
can you believe what is going on here? Who organised this? Unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, I know I'm having for dinner.
It's not pork chop. I'm lost for words, but yeah. So
it's licking my toe.
Without digressing too much, then let's go in deeper about Soditech, because
it's just one thing we missed off though. Injection moulding as well.
Don't mention that. We've mentioned.
Yep, sorry, I was concentrating on lambs. So EDM, they have the best EDM system called iGroove in the world, patented to them. Do you know what it does?
No, I'd be interested to know, because I've been at GF Machining Solutions this morning looking at EDM technologies.
Yep. And what does EDM stand for?
Electro discharge machining. It's a fascinating subject, and actually the technology in it. Some people would describe EDM sometimes as quite boring, because it's quite a sterile kind of manufacturing process. You don't see much. There's not metal parts flying everywhere. However, the technology.
You've got the different technology. So you've got your fast hole drilling, and when you're normally drilling, you run out. You can't do really thin holes, really long holes. Some of the diameters of these drills are tiny, and you've actually got the what's the liquid called? Not diuretic.
Dialectic.
So anyway, if you could tell me what it's called, I do know what it's called. It comes to me
That's
later.
what you get on a Saturday morning. Just
going
going to say to Chris Bruce, who's watching, great to see you're outdoors. Nice scenery, gents. I assume, Chris, you're talking about the
no, about
what's in
it's
front
Colin.
of us and not us. Tell us about this innovation.
Anyway, sorry, we digress. So I don't want to give too much away because it's going on the live stream. Or shall I give it away anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
People can come
Basically,
and
the wire, with wire cutting, it's the electricity, the sparking against the surface. They do thin material, thin walls, for example, really tricky material. But this is a new concept where the wire is actually spinning. What does that mean to you and me? It means that you get a better finish and a quicker cut. So EDM is relatively slow in the scheme of
You
things.
also get better longevity.
I would have thought you would, because you'd have less wear. You'd have different wear on the different sides of the wire.
I don't know the answer to that question, so we can find
And
it out.
is it faster?
It is faster, yes.
Yeah.
So, but we'll find out more on the live stream on that one, or maybe they could answer us on the.
Absolutely. And of course, we're not telling people that they shouldn't be coming to Mac. They should. Everybody should be coming to Mac 2022, which starts on April the 4th. If you cannot make it, and even if you are there and you want to watch our live streams, you'll be able to do that on our stand. We will be there. We'll be in Hall 19, stand 527. But the actual show is at the NEC. It starts April the 4th and runs till April the 8th. We're just outlining exactly what we're going to be doing during the week. Coming up, we'll be talking about where we're going to be on Wednesday and some of the things you can expect to see across the channel.
Just want to make a few more points, Paul, on Solitech. It is quite a unique company, really. It's selling like milling machines, additive manufacturing machines, metal additive manufacturing machines, and all the EDM products.
They have quite a lot of
sell.
hybrid, don't they, where you can do both operations.
Absolutely, but this is a great company to have a combination of all these different technologies. And I recently visited a company, Materials Solutions, where it's the biggest metal printing company in England. Now, some of the components that they're making are for turbine engines, the gas turbine engines. Now, a lot of the features still need to be EDM, like Colin mentioned, the very tiny holes that you can't physically do on a milling machine, but also to cut the metal additive manufactured part off the base is still done on an EDM. So having all of these technologies readily available for its clients is such a big advantage in my opinion, and I would strongly recommend that you visit their stand at Mac.
I'm actually going to be reviewing their fast hole drilling machine, and don't ask me what it's called because I can't remember, so I do apologise for that. But some great technology, and
Can we ask you what it does?
Cuts holes. Yes, absolutely. So fast hole drilling, really long depth, really thin diameters, tough materials, aerofoils, for example, the holes into those. But this one has got an integrated A and B axis. I want an answer to this one, please. It's got a W axis. I don't know what a W axis is. Do you know what a W axis is?
I do know what a W axis is.
Okay, can you share it with us?
I'm not going to share it on this occasion.
Okay, that's brilliant. But we will find out in the last
I know what a
stream.
U and V axis is on an EDM machine.
Got it.
Some machines, they work independently, which means you can do tapers and things like that.
Okay,
So,
brilliant stuff.
But yeah, so that's the Solitech stand.
Solitech,
and
yes.
We're going to be there live. 1 o'clock the stream will open, but 1:30 on the Tuesday is when we'll be touring the stand on
Who's next?
Tuesday.
Who's next?
So who's next on
It
Tuesday
is,
afternoon?
over to Gio, it is Hoffman.
Yeah, Hoffman Group. I mean, you know, they've launched in the UK officially quite recently. You know, in the grand scheme of things, they're a massive company globally. You know, with a £1 billion company globally. Now they are concentrating primarily on the GSP, their guaranteed savings plan, which they had such a success at Advanced Engineering earlier on in the year.
Because we did the live stream for them at that show, didn't we?
We did, and they achieved, I believe, around £250,000 worth of direct sales.
I thought it was about £250,000.
Around £250,000, you're absolutely right there, Colin. But they achieved them sales off the back of the live stream. But what they want to emphasise at the show about GSP, the Guaranteed Savings Plan, is how they achieved them savings. And they achieved them savings through their product portfolio, which includes work holding solutions, vending solutions, cutting tool solutions, and PPE solutions. The products are really, really important, but the specialists behind the products are really important too. They've got some very unique products and products that will save time and money for end users. So again, I would strongly recommend for absolutely anyone that's at the show to visit Hoffman, find out how they can save the money and how to become a partner with Hoffman.
Go with an application. But when you say GSP, what are they actually guaranteeing? They're going to guarantee you saving money and time, or what are they actually guaranteeing?
So the guaranteeing saving plan is that basically they'll go and go into a company.
Yep.
They'll look at their current processes. They'll look at the spend. How much are they spending to make a particular part, and they'll guarantee them that they'll save at least minimum 10% on their spend. And if they don't achieve that, they'll underwrite it at the end of the year.
So if you were to go to Mac and visit the guys there, you'd be able to take your applications, take your parts, and potentially maybe not get a definitive answer there, but them look at and say, yeah, we can save you.
They would welcome that. I mean, it's a no-brainer, really, Paul. It's a no-lose gamble. They're putting their mouth and their money. They're putting their money where their mouth is.
That's easy for you to say. Easy for you to say, Gio.
Really, really exciting time.
And that with your friend John, is it?
John Wuskett, Tim Paddison and all the team.
Yeah, I look forward to that one. So on Tuesday, don't forget, when you're at Mac, we're going to be doing a live podcast like this as well, just after 4:00 from our stand, which is in Hall 19, 527, where we'll be encouraging not just the equipment manufacturers and companies that are exhibiting at the show, but also engineers to come and join us and tell us about their experience at the event. You certainly can, Colin.
Thank you very much. Will our groupies be joining us at the show?
I'm not sure they'd get in with them.
I don't know. I did phone up the Mac guys, and they didn't give me a straight answer. It was a bit woolly. Oh, come on, guys. I would like some feedback on that. You can like, comment and subscribe on that
We
joke.
potentially have a bit of a special treat during the event as well. On Thursday evening, we may be welcoming Darren Granger from High Spec Precision, who's going to bring his band along. Now, if you haven't seen some of the guitars that Darren makes, you should certainly visit High Spec Engineering's website or visit Darren on LinkedIn. He's in fact just bought a brand new MX330. But yeah, he wants to come to our stand on the Thursday, and he'll be playing some music on the stand later.
Has he got the whole band or just him?
It will just be a very limited and shrunken Darren Granger band. So I think there'll just be
Darren.
there'll be one of his colleagues there with one of his special guitars, and it'll be worth listening to. Because you remember they played the Swarf and Chips tune as well, didn't they? On one of our Swarf and Chips episodes.
I mean, fantastic engineers. Is the band better or not quite as good as their engineering skills? Go on.
I think they're both top class.
Top class, that's it.
Darren, if you're watching, give us a shout out.
Give us a chord.
So that will be Wednesday. Just tell us quickly again what Wednesday is happening for those that have missed so far on this stream.
Just to clarify then, NCMT on the first session, 9 till 11, NCMT with Akuma. Then Matsuura 11 till, I'm saying 11 till 1, but we're actually live stream 11. The live stream is going 11:30.
Yeah, the main
then
tour.
Soditech between 1 and 3, and then Hoffman 3 to 5. Looking forward to it. And then followed by the podcast. Well, the podcast is at
so the
4:30.
live podcast will start at 4:00 in the afternoon,
Okay.
and we'll encourage anybody to come along.
Yep.
What's the benefit to a live stream is a question people often ask us, and we can expect to see thousands of people watching the streams over the course of the week. So if you're exhibiting at the show, you're going to get hopefully thousands of people, but of course if you're streaming too, you're going to double that output, and that's critical. So we're looking forward to doing that. Now that's Tuesday. What's happening Wednesday, Colin? Give us a quick rundown.
Ready? Are you ready for this? We are going back to NCMT, but this time we're going to look at their Makino machines. So there you have it. So that's from your 9 till 11 slots. So going live at 9:30. Looking forward to that. What do you know about those, gentlemen?
So what I can tell you is about one of the machines for Makino. I mean, Makino's one of those names that you associate with very high value parts, don't you? Very long running operations. Companies that I wouldn't mention the names on this broadcast, but businesses that are making really high value components, long running, unmanned, speed, precision, all of those things. And Makino machines are synonymous for lasting decades and still machining to the, as tighter tolerance 10, 15, 20, 30 years on as what they did at the
Associated
start.
with the aerospace industry.
Absolutely.
They're very heavily used in the aerospace industry, and the configuration of that machine with the kind of horizontal platform that it's got, it's a phenomenal machine tool.
But they've also got at the show, which is a machine I actually saw at EMO a couple of years ago, which is the D200Z, which is a really small, nimble a really small, nimble 5-axis machine that's also got automation on it, really for hard metal machining. I mean, some of the surface finishes you can achieve with these machines because of their structure and their stability. And I think a lot of people will go to the event thinking, Makino, that's, it's out of my reach, out of my league. But I think what we're learning about in today's market is that I don't think any machine is beyond any company, because if you think about what these machines can do over long periods of time, it's all about the return on investment, isn't it? And
I think that's a really good point, Paul, and I think that it's all down to the application. Everything revolves around the application. It doesn't matter on the price of the product if that product is reducing the cost per part, because it will ultimately create a return of investment very quickly. So you've hit the nail on the head, really, Paul. You need to be looking at the part, the application, and then.
Sorry, I'm just letting the guys know there's some questions for us coming through on this live stream here.
We will let you know.
I do apologise, Jeff,
no,
for interrupting.
Okay. But yeah, I think really good point. I think that people shouldn't be looking at the cost. They should be looking if it's the right product for their application.
I think that's a lot of. The same for a lot of machine tools. They think, I won't say names specifically, but they think that's out of my league. I'm never going to be able to afford that. I think you need to have the conversation for whatever reason, whether it's the finance company can help you out, or just a return on investment. It will pay itself back. Oh, it broke my nose on the microphone.
There's two things there you mentioned which are very true and very pertinent. Is that you have to look, there are ways of being flexible these days with finance. I know money's getting a little bit more expensive to borrow now, but it's still cheap to borrow, and some of these companies are offering payment holidays, payment breaks, and then if you look at what the uptime of some of these machines can deliver in terms of their spindles,
we've got a bit of an interloper there.
Didn't agree with that.
And you weigh all those factors in, you can suddenly find that these machines, and what about residual values? Buy a lower cost machine, you might find your residual value is even a lot less in 2 or 3 years'
I'm going to put my
time.
Finance head on, and that is exactly right, Paul. And I hate to say you're exactly right, because what time is it? It is 5 past 4 on a Friday afternoon. We'll just make sure that's recorded. But you're looking at a high, not saying any machines aren't high quality, but you get a bigger residual, and you'll probably get a longer term as well. So you're going to get that finance cost will come down, and even interest rates potentially could be low because they see it as a good quality asset.
And when that machine comes up for sale in 10 years' time, 15, there aren't many on the market. You often look at some of these higher value machines, and when they do come on the market, they go quickly.
Yep, absolutely.
So, so don't dismiss the fact that if you're looking at what you think is a machine, you're not going to go and see it because it's out of your league. The technology might blow you away.
Just ask the question.
I also think it's a great time to invest, and I think that now we're kind of the masters of our own destiny. Following Brexit, and this is the perfect opportunity to kind of invest, and get ahead of the game. And there's lots of opportunity around the corner.
Back to the Makino stand now, if I can just interject, if I can use that word. So they've got a high speed die mould 5-axis machine, which they're showcasing on there, just clarify. They also have, and this is a bold statement, the fastest wire EDM machine in the world.
It's the fastest, is it?
That's what they're saying. So put them to the test. Go and see them about that and find out more about that. I mean, that process, as we alluded to earlier, is not a fast process, but it's not that type of process. You're not looking at 30-second cycle times and things like that. You leave it running overnight. But the automation available for these machines as well, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, so that is a stream that's going to be happening on Wednesday morning. The stream will open at 9 o'clock, but the actual main tour of the Makino machines, the NCMT stand, will start at 9:30 on the Wednesday morning. Definitely one to watch. Now, if you are watching this stream, we're about 40 minutes in, but please get your comments and questions in.
Have we got some questions on the...
we haven't actually. We did have some, but I think technically they're having an issue getting
that's
them through.
See, the joy. This is not the BBC. This is MTD.
Absolutely.
What's next?
Maybe Liam's gone to have a cup of tea.
He's not having a cup of tea. I can tell you what he's. Well, I won't tell you what he's doing because no one wants.
So what's happening after the NCMT?
It is over to Heimer. There you go.
So I mean, Heimer. What can I say there, really? I mean, they're renowned for their tool holders, their presetters, and the quality of their products. I mean, I can remember back in the day, I had a project with Heimer at a Mazak open house when they were doing a project on trochoidal milling. So some of their tool holders have got the thread, internal thread, so you can screw the end mills in there so that the end mills just cannot come out. And they
is
are
that almost like get tighter as you're machining because it's tightening against the spin.
It's going against the spin.
Yeah.
But I can remember when I first seen that application, Paul, I was gobsmacked, really, that the speed and the metal removal rates that are created from that, but also the shrink fit machines as well. So effectively with that, the cutting tool becomes one with the holder, and effectively with the quality of the holders that they have and the tool holders. If you imagine if you've got an inferior tool holder, you're going to get elements of vibration in the tool holder. Then there's going to be elements of vibration when you're clamping the cutting tool. Say, for example, you're using a side and lock holder. With the Hymer products, effectively what they're doing, they're reducing vibration, and vibration is the key, and it's the killer. By reducing that vibration, you're achieving then faster feed speed, cutting tool life, longevity, and it really gives you a better quality of part.
But it's not just about the part, though, is it? Because with that vibration, it's going back into the machine and damaging
tool
the
life,
spindle.
Longevity too.
Yeah, and what the spindle
and the
as well.
machine, like you say, Colin.
Yeah,
I think.
And what is the word inferior? I've just had it in my ear that someone's just googled it in the Oxford English
don't
Dictionary.
know what inferior means.
No, I do not know.
Sorry,
One, you don't know what a W axis is.
Inferior.
Now you don't know what an inferior.
I know. I don't know why I've been even bought on this flipping show.
I think that's a good point about it goes beyond the tooling, and I think for people that are watching these are the reasons to go to Mac, because machine shops can become ingrained in the way they do things, and they might not consider that there are better ways to do things. The point you made there is very important, Colin, about low-cost inventory on machines will invariably affect the performance of that machine, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. So, you need to get the right.
Great quote from a gentleman, Ken Metal. He was in our studio doing Tech Corners a couple of weeks ago. Ken Metal, and I do apologise, I can't remember his name, which is really remiss of me. That is a word. Look that one up. If you've got tooling from 3 years ago, you're out of date. You've been inefficient. Tooling has moved on that much in the last 3 years. You need to be reinvesting to get better efficiency.
I think the ultimately
Same with clothes.
Well, yeah.
I'm not sure I like your attitude over you, but I know what I'm going to knit tonight. I'm going to knit. Guess what? Woolly jumper.
Yeah, go on, Jim.
Oh, sorry. No, but ultimately, I think with the Hymer products, I think what they do, and they add value to the machine tool. So they add value to the machine tool, whether you're buying an entry-level machine tool or a high-end machine tool. You can use that machine tool to its full capabilities, and you get the most out of that machine tool with Hymer products.
So we'll be live with Hymer, and that's from 11 o'clock on Wednesday morning. In fact, that's when the stream will start, but the main tour on the products that we've spoken about will be actually exhibited and streamed from 11.
As we are live, I'm just reliably informed that I think it's our drone shot. I think we've just zoomed in on Gio's back garden. Palatial, I think they've said in my ear. Is it? Would it be your back garden, Gio?
Is it that one over there? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see the drone, but there we go. We digest. Is that the right word? Digress. I do apologise. So, Hymer, any more on that, or should we go to the next one?
We'll move on to the next one, which is the next stream, which you're going to tell us is.
Oh, me, right, Star. Never in
GB.
doubt.
So this will be the second stream we're doing with Star GB. The first one we spoke about live the other day on the Monday from 11 till 1, which is very much about the applications that they create, the engineering expertise they have around their machine tools.
And you really want to do that one because I think there's something very close to your heart in terms of what they're manufacturing.
They are making well worth a visit to their stand, definitely. You want to watch the stream, but you need to visit the Star GB stand too to get your Star 2 D2, which there's a theme running here. Star
Trek.
The Star Saber. If you haven't seen one of those, it's just fabulous engineering. It really is. And it's what I think... even my kids and my wife look at those and they go, this is what you do, Daddy. This is what is good about what you do, and it really is. And I think,
hold on, it's not what you do; it's what Star do. We all know you're a failed engineer.
Exemplify, if that's another word you can add to the list, engineering expertise, and that's what they're showing on their stand. And we'll be really focusing on that on Monday. So the stream will talk to you on Monday about the application support, how they use their knowledge to be able to get the best out of their machines and all the accessories that are
What is a Star 2 D2 though, just to clarify?
So it's a very small, you've seen R2D2, we've got the legs and the arms and the body, and they're making all these bits and putting them together, and it's about that big, 2 or 3 inches. But
right.
It's like what do they call them? A thing you put on your belt or one of these. I don't know. There's actually there's a terminology for it. Alex was telling me, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah, it just really shows. It just no, I don't think it is a bottle opener. No, it just really shows what they can create with their machine. So we'll be doing that on the Monday, but on the Wednesday, what we're talking about here, we'll be live streaming. Actually, we'll be going around the stand and looking at all the machines that they're showcasing, the new models, the SL10 for small term parts. We'll also be looking at the SX38, which is a beast of a machine. Matt Lee and Lindsay reviewed this the other day. It's on the channel. And that machine is so sophisticated. It really is bridging the gap between fixed head technology and sliding head turning. You will be amazed what these sliding head lathes can make these days. And I know from the podcast we did the other day, you know, when I asked Joe about sliding head technology, he was like, the companies he goes round where he looks at parts and he goes, what, you're really making that on a sliding head lathe? Machines. And that'll be for about 45 minutes on the Wednesday.
Star also have, and let me get this right, it is the Step Cycle Pro?
Step Cycle Pro.
Yeah, what is that?
The Step Cycle Pro is about the chip control. So
okay.
we all have.
I'm reliably informed, and just to prove that this is live, the guys behind the camera are behind the camera for two reasons. One, because they're not as photogenic as us three, and B, because they can run the tech, but they failed because they lost 30 seconds. So just go back quickly to the SX38 very briefly.
Yeah, so the SX38, it's an absolute beast of a machine from Star GB. Really bridges the gap between fixed head and sliding head turning. What these machines can make these days is just incredible.
Star 2 D2s.
Star 2 D2s and more. I mean, they'll be showing the fact that they're not just for turning. They're for milling. And it doesn't matter if it's soft materials or if it's harder materials. The machines have the power, the strength, the weight and the capabilities of machining very, very complex parts that you may normally associate being made on a milling machine.
I think that comes back to what we talked about earlier in terms of, can I afford these machines? Can I make this on a machine? You need to be asking. Don't think, look at it, go, I can't make that on a slider. Ask, because I bet you can.
Well, how many engineers, and I put this question, and this is why people should come to Mac, it's why people should watch the live streams, is because they might be making parts and they might be being forced on cost by their customer to reduce cost. You know, make it for me quicker, make it for me cheaper. And sometimes the customer will just go, I can't, and they might just lose the job. You know, why not explore an alternative way of making parts? And that's really what the Mac exhibition is about. It's what MTD CNC is about, and it's what our live stream.
I'm going to pull you up.
Another big point on the Star is as well, there's a big association with high volume work when doing sliding head work, but that's not the case anymore. So with the software and all of the programming that you can now do on there, it lends itself also to low volume work too. So don't think it is just for high volume work.
Three things in. You've got to be asking a question, absolutely. So don't think you can't do it. You've got to go and ask a question. Second is, and I'm going to pull you up on this, Paul. You're getting told off now. You said people are going and say, I need to make this part quicker. That's not the case, because a lot of people now are not necessarily chasing the cycle time. They're chasing the ability to run 24/7. So an 8-hour day, I can make this a lot, making it a lot quicker. But now the process might be a bit slower. But if I can do it 24/7, I'm being a lot more
reliably.
Efficient. Absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing that I was going to say was, I don't know, I've forgotten to be honest, but start the Step Pro.
Yeah, Step Cycle Pro.
Thank you.
This is their new way of controlling chip control. And it's, I don't want to say too much about it on the stream, because I know people visiting the stand and Star users will be really excited about this opportunity on their machines to be able to have more process control even further. Like you say, then potentially, yes, cycle times are important, but if you can run it unmanned, then it's about that process reliability.
That then, Paul? What's new about it? What are the new?
So we're not going to go into that into detail now, but that will come on the stream during the day when we speak with Alec, and also if you visit the Mac show. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, well, that's it pretty much, Paul. I'm going to stop you there. We're pretty much near the end of the show. So just to reiterate, on the Wednesday, NCMT Makino first, 9 till 11, starting the live stream, well, live at 9, but the full show at 9:30. Heimer, 11 till 1 o'clock, with the full stream going at 11:30, and then Star, 1 to 3 o'clock. That's it from my perspective. Have you got...
No, so that,
quickly.
Obviously the live podcasts are happening every day from just after 4 o'clock on the stand. We do want people to go to Mac. It's the first time in 4 years that this event has happened, and it's such an enjoyable part of our community's activity, really. So it's an important show to go to explore, like we've been discussing today, the fact that, you know, you may not be doing things as efficiently or as well as you could be by investing in technology. Our stand is Hall 19 527. You can come to our stand any time of the day to come and see the guys that are going to be there, or you'll see us floating around the exhibition doing these live streams. It's going to be a big week. We expect to see over 20,000 people watching our streams throughout the Mac week. And of course, we've also got activity which we haven't spoken about, which is happening on Thursday, but we'll be doing that on a live stream again, depending on whether the weather's like this, either here or maybe back in the studio. Who knows? But we'll be doing that early part of next week. But as for now, we wish you a good weekend. And I know, Colin, you're going to be probably walking out of this field with one of the...
I think I'm sorted for the weekend, mate, I'll tell you.
One of the things that walked in front of us. Gio, thanks for joining us. Colin, thanks for joining us. Thanks
Pleasure.
for watching. As always, it's been another live podcast with MTD CNC.
Thanks for listening to the MTD podcast. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe and leave a rating and review. Find more episodes on mtdcnc.com.